talking 80 to 100 jobs. Where are those people going to live? So we've got to have residential growth. We've got to develop a plan to increase our housing and encourage and stimulate residential development in our community. Not only that, but we've got to devise a plan in order that we can reward those who are here, who live here, who work here, and who invest in our city on a daily basis. We've got so many people that work here but live elsewhere. We've got to give them some kind of incentive, entice them in some way. Maybe we need more amenities, whatever it might be, but we've got to work to convince them to move to Sylacauga. And then we've also got to have and develop a workforce development strategy. If we're going to have a strong economy, then we've got to have a strong workforce. So we'll work to develop programs to prepare our citizens, especially our young people, for the jobs for tomorrow that we're looking for. And you think about that, that's not a small detail. That's a big deal, because why are we where we are right now? Because when I was a kid, everybody worked at Kimberly-Clark or at Avondale, and that was it. No one was looking past then. No one was looking at the fact textiles are moving to Mexico. They're moving outside of the United States. And then Avondale closes, then the mill shuts down. A place that many of our parents retired from, and it's gone, poof. Since that time, what do we see? We see our population ticking down and down and down and down, because there's no place, there are no jobs. We're bringing in commercial jobs. Commercial doesn't support a family. A retail job is not going to give you what you need to support a family. We need real high-paying jobs. We also, in that process, we've got to look forward to the future and plan for the jobs of tomorrow. We've got to utilize also the knowledge and experience that our veterans and our senior population can bring to the table. And in that, work hand in hand with our educators. I think that what we're seeing happening up here, the Earth Project, is going to be one of the most valuable assets this community has ever seen. And it's been largely overlooked by our city. And we should be as actively a part of that program as we can, because its primary focus is workforce development. And when we're talking about workforce development, it's got to go beyond just being hands-on on how to do a job, how to meet certain specifications in the workforce. We've got to work to reestablish a solid work ethic among our young people. Establish a personal pride in doing a job well done. Teach the value, go back and reteach in our schools the value of holding a job, having a career, and growing through that, growing as a person. Develop those mindsets over being government dependent. And why do I raise that? Why do I bring that up? I'll tell you why. You may not realize it, but let me give you some stats real quick. Talladega County as a whole, South Talladega County, we're somewhere around 19% of our population is on some form of disability. You've got another 29% that are on some form of government subsidy. And many of them aren't working. They've removed themselves from the workforce. And we need them hands-on in the workforce, actively being a part of our community and contributing to it. We need to help and work to develop that sense of personal pride, of standing on one's own 2 feet.